Hi, guys, and welcome to Town Hall episode 10. Jake, do not forget to unmute your mic, friend.
Yes.
We made it to 10 episodes, which feels really great. We're in the double digits. It feels amazing that it's actually been 10 episodes. Show's so fun. But let's get started with the introductions. To the left of my camera, you'll see MLG employee, Smash Brothers elitist, Solid Jake GG. What's up, man?
Yo, episode 10. This is a milestone, obviously. I'm super stoked. We have our first guest. That's awesome. We have a new segment this week. That's awesome. So, it's a good day. I mean, I can't say anything else.
Right on. Well, below him, if Rick Moranis and Drew Carey had a love child, it'd be him. It's Omega Black Mage. What's up, Corey? I started laughing before I even read that.
Oh, okay. Very well done. No introduction further than that.
We'll save the best for last. Let's go to the worst. Kevin, what's up, man?
How am I the worst?
Damn. That MLG
Corey,
production.
Corey, I
Look
just
how
have
fast you got
one
that.
question. I just
Yeah.
have one question, Corey.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Why
the
does this look-
gatekeeper. Are you the keymaster?
And
I just saw that.
God.
Jake, I'd like to award you 1,000 points.
Yes.
I saw. Oh my god.
Points don't matter.
Points do not matter.
Special guest this week. Oh,
Chris Rock and Eddie Murphy had a love child. Yeah.
I like that. That fits. Tempo, special guest. What's up, man?
Nothing. How about yourselves? How about y'all?
You know,
Oh, good.
you're on a team, right?
Yep.
Oh,
And
God.
they're
I
a
am.
good team. They're a pretty good team, right?
They're a pretty damn good team, actually.
What
Yeah.
team is that?
PlugCity.net.
That IVD.
Oh, man.
That IVD.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I hear
snap.
they're overrated.
Oh,
Plug.
that hurts. That
Yo,
hurts.
So, Puck's on your team, right?
Yes.
He just qualified for MLG Anaheim.
That he did.
So, yeah.
That was pretty cool, actually.
That counts for something, right?
Yeah,
It was
man.
very
That's
high.
Sick.
Counts
Very
for a lot.
hyped.
Yeah, that was a good series.
You see, he beat Revival in that first set at WCS. Good series.
Oh man. Did you see?
So-
Oh, I guess.
Oh, go ahead,
No,
man.
to
Let's
get
talk
off topic.
StarCraft. Let's talk StarCraft. This
I'm
is
just gonna say
StarCraft.
I gotta give a shout out to Stefano qualifying for WCS.
I know, right?
That's
What?
huge.
That I have to give a
man.
shout out to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I
The
agree.
guy is such a freaking boss, man.
I was pretty happy.
Jeez.
We got a lot to talk about today, guys. So let's just dive straight into it. Changes to the leveling system this week. No one was really expecting them to be this drastic. They've increased the amount of experience it requires 1 to 40. Each level is a lot harder to hit. Plus, they've drastically changed the questing system. I'll just start with Kevin. What are your thoughts on the new changes to the questing system and leveling?
Well, so the questing system makes it a lot easier when you're solo queuing because you're not gonna win ever. So now it's just instead of win games, it's always play games. So you don't have to win X amount of games to get a quest done. It's just always play now. Unfortunately, they've dumbed it down a bit. So now it's like the first 3 quests for each hero is like win 2 games, then win 6 games, and win 10 games or something like that, and it's really boring.
Yeah.
I like the ones before where it was like deal X amount of damage using this spell and etc. like that.
They
but-
taught you how to play the hero a little bit better, some of them.
Yeah.
They made
Yeah.
you utilize those spells a lot. The actual questing is 2 played, 4 played, 10 game played, 15 played, 30 played, and then I believe 40 played for the final. It's
You said foreplay. Anyway, yeah, I really don't like the new system right now, but I think it's just something that's another placeholder. I think they're going to go back to the other one once they figure out what they want to do with it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree, but this really feels like a placeholder. Like, it feels like they're revamping it. They just stripped everything to play games, and we can hope. But
I just don't understand, like, why.
I was
They already
wondering,
had
too.
a system in place. Like, why did they change
Yeah.
it? That's,
Yeah.
maybe there was like
that's
too
what
many
I'm
bugs
curious
with the system, so they just kind of wiped it to something easy, and I don't know.
But
I
to
really,
be honest, the only part that wasn't bugged were the character-specific ones. Like, it was like always like destroy towns. Those were the ones that were bugged with the daily quests that showed up. But those
Yeah.
seemed pretty fine to me.
I think the hero
I don't
ones
know.
were pretty fine for the most part. At least in like, I don't know, like you said, like why, right? And they said, yeah, the way that they presented it was like, you're revamping this. Like, the whole whole new outlook on the questing system, and then it launched and it was kind of just like
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Bare bones.
Yeah. A lot of us were like, okay, after the 10 played game quest, it's got to go to something else, right? It's going to be like 10 wins, right? It's going to get
Oh,
hard.
the
No.
anticipation.
Just play more games. Play more
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
101 games played to complete all the quests on the hero. Like,
It's
What
just
is-
it's
what is
heroes
the
of the
point?
grind. I mean,
Yeah.
to play. Yeah.
but and they also increased the experience required to get 1 to 40.
by
I didn't think it was. You know, if you want to compare it to like League of Legends, 1 to 30 in League was a grind. It took forever. So maybe they're trying to go for something like that. I didn't feel too bad about 1 to 40 before, so I don't really know how I felt about increasing the amount of experience to get max level.
I'm all for it because I think there should always be something to work towards. I mean, leveling up each hero and getting their new skins and stuff is great, but I mean, progression is a huge incentive to keep playing. So if the progression is too easy, people might just be like, "Oh, I did it already," and like tune out. Whereas they might not fall in love with the game enough because for some people, hitting 40 might be their like real goal in playing the game.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, "I'm gonna hit 40, and then if I'm bored, I'm done."
Yeah.
But I don't think it can negatively affect the game. I think it should be a pretty quick grind through the first 10 levels so you can unlock
Yeah.
talents.
I agree with that.
And then it should scale heavily after that. But I think once you have everything unlocked at level 10, it should take some time. I mean, and it does seem how it is. I mean, I got level 8 my first night playing, I think so, or maybe my second night. But
The only reservation I have with a system where it takes a very long time to hit like X amount to do ranked is we can see even in League of Legends where it takes 2 to 3 months sometimes to get level 30. It doesn't really even teach you that much still. Like,
Yeah.
fresh level 30s are still absolutely nowhere near competitive standards.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, they're even below, like, Bronze 5. Like, even though it's 1 to 30.
This guy.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's like, it's like fresh level 30. Yeah, you're not hitting silver anytime soon.
Mhm.
And silver's really, like, So that's why I'm still, like, I don't know what the best system is, but I don't know if delaying this to make the leveling harder is the actual best answer.
I don't know. Like, there were some quests that, like, say for instance, Illidan's, right? He had a really, really stupid. There was this really dumb quest where it was like,
Kill
was it
10 heroes with the W, I think.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
That was
with
it. The
W.
crescent swipe.
Yeah, so I'm glad, like, they at least looked into that, where there were some quests that were kind of okay, but I think the whole thing about at least measuring it, right? Like, you finish a game and you play the game, and regardless of what happens in the game or not, you know that you just did a portion of that quest, like play one game or whatever with this hero. I remember with the other one, you would like go ahead, do this, whatever, and it might be like a long epic game, and it was like do X damage with this specific skill. You know what I mean? And like that part of that quest really felt like you can like that game was such a big part of doing that quest because you saw that, like, the longer a game goes, and obviously you're gonna progress more in that quest.
right.
Like, regardless of this one goes, if I win or lose, I'm still gonna get the experience. So
And
whatever.
it also like teaches you to use like X ability. So like say that you're playing as Brightwing and you don't use her I can't think of the name of the ability, the E, too much.
Uh-huh.
Like you're
Yeah.
not shielding your team enough because you're so focused on whatever else. Like it's forcing you to use it. It's forcing you to use that ability to complete the quest. For a new player, like, oh well, I have to use this. I think it's crap, but I have to use it. And then they're like, oh wow, this is actually really good. So I think it also promotes like trying out new things for newer players as well. So
Sure.
I think this, like you guys said, is probably a placeholder what we have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to see what Blizzard does. I mean, it's not a broken or bad system right now,
Right.
but could be improved on. A new tournament was announced today. CSD is hosting the free tournament King of the Storm at #1. First one will be this Sunday, April 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is, I believe, noon West Coast. So it's going to be the very first Heroes of the Storm tournament. I know Blizzard made that post saying, hey, we don't want people doing tournaments. But CSD was like, hey, what if it's low-key? What if I keep it simple? I'm really not going to be trying to cast or stream it. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just, don't try and, like, get a prize pool or get sponsors and stuff because the game's not really ready for that. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is awesome. Great initiative by him.
He has a long history of doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
He's been organizing events for a long time. So, I mean, I'm not surprised, and I'm glad he's doing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's actually, I know Blizzard doesn't want us to run us being the public,
The community,
run tournaments, but I think it's actually better this way because now when you're in an alpha, you can say, okay, there's like parts of this game that just don't work or do really work that we should emphasize in a tournament setting. And I think that's actually a really good way to test something like this.
And at
We'll
the same
see some
time,
interesting
though,
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
without a real spectator tool, the general public is going to compare the game to League of Legends and Dota. And if they see tournaments going on with a glitchy, buggy, incomplete spectator client with an alpha game, like, they're just going to be like, this game's crap, and they're going to look at it for 2 seconds and ignore it. So I think that's probably one of the bigger reasons, and I'm super glad they're like saying, hey guys, just hold off for a little while, we're working on it. But I'm glad they're letting Steve do this, or Matt. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't get people like that.
Steve.
I didn't get a chance to read through the thread. Is he actually casting it or recording
nope.
anything? No, nothing. Okay,
I think
so
like
people aren't even going to
players can
see
stream
it, so they won't even.
Well, people can
Yeah.
stream it. Like,
Okay,
if I'm
alright.
competing in it, I can stream
You
it.
can
And be
stream
like,
it.
hey,
Oh,
you can
okay.
come watch us compete. So,
But that's good then. I think that they're not trying to like put like that
Oh yeah,
That'll keep it
like,
low-key.
look on it like, all right, guys, come to this game. It's not
Right.
like a marketing tool. It's almost just
Right.
there's a bunch of people that play this game and a lot of people that are competitive in it. So
And those VODs are going to be really interesting for the community too. Like, hey, look, this is a competitive match. So my question is Zoya, is God Squad entering?
it's called God Team, sir. And
Why isn't it called
unfortunately-
God Squad?
God
First
Squad.
of
sounds
all,
so much.
Hey, we didn't name it. Okay, I wanted to call it Team Frozen.
Because Tim is a terrible name maker.
We have 2 Blizzard employees, which they really shouldn't be competing in tournaments. So
Dude, they're so
conflict of
good.
interest for him.
they despite how good they are, they will not be competing. And the Idra is moving this weekend, so we're down 3 of our strongest players. So that means I'd have to play with. We'd have to use our worst sub, Kevin, which is.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'll personally be competing this week, but eventually God Team should wrap around and.
God
Why
Squad.
don't we do a town hall team?
I've seen
no,
Corey's
no, no.
hooks. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Here we
I
go.
don't. No, but the cool thing is,
Wait,
Steve
whoa,
has
whoa,
said
whoa,
he's going to do
back
this
up.
every week. So
That's
Cool.
pretty sick.
That's great. Yeah.
Jared, back it up for a second. You were gonna call out my hooks. Let's talk about some hooks that happened on Cursed Hollow. We can talk about that.
that one didn't count
Doesn't count. Just like all the swears last week, right?
because you
Yeah,
guys
doesn't
still lost that game. You guys still lost that game. So that was a good.
yeah, no, that's fair. But don't call my hooks out. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't call my hooks.
I say we do a town hall team with special guest Tempo.
Oh yeah,
I'd play
Do
some
it.
games. It'd be a lot of fun.
that would be fun.
That would be
I'd
fun.
be down.
You're
All right,
I mean, I'd have to carry all of you, but I'd be
I
down.
know, literally.
Like with
you guys
Diablo,
like
Light though, man. I'm not even that heavy, man. I'm just average.
I'm more worried about Corey and Zola.
I'm gonna throw things.
Zola.
My Arthas #1 NA.
Number one
I've
artist.
been playing a boatload of Brightwing, and I'll just say I've been making some sick plays. Like
It really feels good.
Corey's almost dead. I teleport in front of him,
Yeah, that was a good
shield
one.
him, and then soak up the Nova like triple tap. Like,
Yeah.
yo, just bow before me.
Dude, I had the sickest save on Idra just when we were getting set up with the
Yeah.
pre-show. There was Nova set up for her ult to kill Idra, who was playing Falstad, and the first bolt goes out, and I start my teleport. The second bolt's in the air. I show up. The teleport trait gives him the shield that sucks that up, and then I
Oh,
immediately get my E on him, which sucks up the last hit. And he had like this much health left.
It feels good, doesn't it?
It really
Oh,
does.
That's really
Oh,
cool.
I
I'll
love
admit.
Brightwing.
I do. It's the only hero I
Well-
play right now.
Speaking of Brightwing, she was released a week ago. We've all had plenty of time to play her.
Sick segue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
so-
perfect.
so
Perfectly
sick.
set up. But yeah, I posted the link to that tournament in the MLG chat. Make sure you go check it out. Tune in this weekend. Great job for CSD. I'm glad people
Yep,
are stepping
props
up.
to Matt
and
for
competing.
Nice.
But yeah, Brightwing guys, we've had that MLG production, man. Brightwing's lots of fun. Jake gets the wrong ult on her half the time he plays her, but that's fine.
Yo, you should watch some
I'm
of my
still not even
VODs. You
sold.
should watch some of my VODs where it just completely decimates the other teams when I use that ult.
I'm gonna be completely
Which
honest.
one?
Maybe you are onto something. I have never once seen. What's it called? What's the way? What's the
Emerald Wind. Emerald Wind.
Emerald Wind.
Emerald
I have
Wind.
never seen Emerald Wind
So-
once make a play that I was like, wow. Okay, maybe I'm seeing this wrong. So maybe I gotta play against you with it wrong. But
So, like, there's a few things that I like it for, and it's mainly because it's a scrubby level of play for a lot of my uses, because I use it in one-on-one engagements a lot. So, like, a Rainer will just be like, I'm gonna body you. It's like, I'm gonna shield myself twice, heal, just keep fighting you, do a perfect mortar, because you're just gonna be arrogant and stand there and shoot me, get the inner circle, and then I'm gonna pop my ult, and you're just gonna melt. And, like, I one-on-one Rainer all the time, and it's hilarious to me. I giggle. I giggle relentlessly when it happens.
So it's a pub stomper heroic.
It is, but in team fights, in certain, if you do a proper engagement, if you teleport in on a tank, and then you just immediately cast it, like on a, say you're like in the middle of like an intersection, you can push some of their players like completely away from each other, just corner them and pick them off. And there have been some sick plays where we did that. Well, we'll just push their Malfurion like out of the way and just, Nova and Zerach will just go in on them, and they just
that time,
melt.
that window where they're
it's just like, and when they're getting pushed back, they can't do anything. So it definitely has uses, but it's a risky thing to do, because if you go in there and you don't have the right build, if you can't shield yourself, like you have to get the shield talent. She just melts, honestly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it has potential for sure. Blink heal is definitely overall the better ult in a team fight.
I love you.
I will not disagree with that, but I think they both have potential.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I'll have to see someone show me the light, though, because personally, right now, I think it's useless.
I'm making a Brightwing
I always
montage.
go too extreme, and people take that out. It's not useless, but compared to Blink Heal, I think Emerald Wind is just not.
Well,
Blink Heal for the win.
Blink Heal is so strong.
Jake's dumb.
I'm making my first.
Kev was
very
there.
strong.
I was trying to be nice. Be like, you know what? I'll let you try and prove me wrong, Jake.
I'm making a Brightwing montage, so.
Okay.
You'll see lots of montage to that song.
Gonna need a montage.
Precisely.
One thing I like about Brightwing that's different than all the other supports is her Q is like one of the hardest hitting spells in the game.
Yep.
They're building support
Yes.
It's like
in
a
a sense.
truck.
I think she's the first support that, like, excluding ults like Divine Storm and the Silence, it's the first support that has a really hard hitting ability, which I think is cool that they're willing to go that way.
Like 650 damage, I think I was
In the
doing at
middle?
like level 21.
If you get
crazy.
if you get the talent, that increases it by 50%. You can hit for almost 1,000 if you hit right in the center.
And you can hit multiple people in it too, like.
Yeah.
But
it is kind of difficult to land, of course.
Yeah.
It's a very slow projectile, and
Even if you're like standing on
someone's
them,
using
it's
it,
slow.
yeah,
It's generous. It's generous. Saying
It's
that.
very
It's
generous.
slow.
And, I mean, like, that's pretty good that they did that, but I guess sometimes it does get a little annoying because, like, you want to hit it, like, as a person playing, of course, but it's not like this OP thing where Brightwing is really just a mobile healer and shielder that can still destroy you with a really hard-hitting Q that lands really fast. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a balance, where it's a hard-hitting thing, but it's not the end of...
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And if you can set it up with somebody, then awesome.
Yeah,
Props
it
to
does
you guys.
require some coordination.
Idra and I were playing with Brightwing Siege Tank with Napalm Striking. We were just poking people down to death
Oh, that
because
sounds fun.
so much damage.
Corey, let's do it. So let's just talk about our talents really quick. So we're just gonna go through each category and just tell me.
Let's finish talking about the spells first.
Oh sure, yeah, you're right.
Oh,
I think the cool thing about Polymorph is it changed the meta so drastically for me to the point that ETC fell down a lot as a hero because of it. Stage dive is
gets interrupted, right?
so easily avoidable now if you have a Brightwing on your team. And ETC went from second best tank to I think fourth best tank in my books now, because almost solely because of the Brightwing change.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very specific, counter, but you're right. I mean, especially like Mosh Pit. Like Mosh Pit, just stop that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Right.
It's huge. But I'm not sure if this is a bug. But I used it on Diablo using Lightning Breath, which God knows why this Diablo got Lightning Breath. But it resulted in a fire
Kevin's
breathing.
about to flip a table.
It resulted in a fire breathing squirrel that melted Brightwing pretty quickly. And I hope that this is a bug because, and I don't think I streamed this game, but it was terrifying. There was this the flame was 4 times the size of the squirrel. It was just like, what is this creature? And so I hope that Poly would stop that. but it was kind
Yeah.
of cool at the same
There
time.
there is a really annoying bug that goes on with Lightning Breath, and I don't know what the heck Blizzard did with the coding for Unstoppable on Lightning Breath, but it's like you can be stunned, you can be moved, anything can happen to you while you're doing Lightning Breath, but you'll still be doing Lightning Breath.
The lightning breath.
I guess
So that's with
it then.
everything then, huh? Yeah.
So like yeah, so I mean I've been hit by a stun attack or like a Gazlo ult or something like that, and it's supposed to be unstoppable. You can't move when you're doing lightning breath, but then you get sucked in, you
And you
stop doing lightning breath, then you move to the middle, and guess what? Now you're doing lightning breath
Lightning
again.
breath. That's weird.
And it's really awkward too, because you're like, okay, cool, he interrupted my ult, time to run. Oh, no, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this thing
So
then.
you can't cancel it if you press the button again?
You can. You can cancel it, but it's just like you can't cancel it when you're stunned,
Right.
but it doesn't actually stop it because you start doing it again.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Polymorph also led to the first time I've made a pun that I actually enjoyed. I think Kev was there for that.
I was there. It was great.
Oh god,
Oh,
Kevin's
wow.
had a horrible,
I was feeling it.
horrible.
Let's hear it.
You know how like when I say like get aggressive, like go aggro, I say going ham. Well, I polymorphed someone and I went talk about going ham.
Turned into a pig, and he said, "Talk about going ham."
Hot damn, Zoya.
And Kev's just sitting there like, that's my
It
boy.
I was like, there we go. I raised them rat. I raised them rat.
Oh, God,
First,
the puns.
first Heroes of the Storm song, man. Zoya is gonna be like sickest rapper, man. You're gonna have the sickest punchlines. You're gonna be like, yeah, it's what I call going ham. I'd be like, oh,
It just gets like right down.
the super hot fire, but it's just like, ah.
Corey, are we going to segue our story now?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk. Yes. Speaking of tempo songs. If you recall at BlizzCon, this was after hours BlizzCon.
Oh
I was
God.
in front of the hotel. I don't know if you recall this, but we had White Raw there, and he was.
Yeah.
I was there. And we had a pretty epic Protoss rap, I will say.
I remember. Yeah.
White Raw made you rap on the spot.
Who was it that made me do it? It was
White Raw.
I think it was
It
White Raw.
was like you, right? You
Yeah.
made-
Yeah. You'll go rap.
You're gonna rap. You spit. I'm like, I.
They're just like, oh, there's a bunch of people. Let's do this. Okay.
Might as well.
It was glorious. Oh my!
Oh.
It might be the alcohol speaking, but it was glorious nonetheless.
At the time, right? Regardless.
Good times.
Oh my God, it was such a good time because it was like White Rod too, and everyone was just like there, and I'm like, all right, well.
No, man, it was legit. It was definitely legit.
Oh, that was fun. That was really fun.
Like
I
mid
can't-
rap, you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say you can go. I was gonna say I can't wait until BlizzCon this year. I'm
Yeah,
glad that they announced it today.
They
Just got announced today.
Yeah.
Yep, just today. Perfect day.
Town Hall all gets invited personally. Private jets
Yep.
flown out there. It's gonna be great.
Get our own hotel.
Hell yeah, man.
We get
We're
our
gonna
own
do
town
show.
hall at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Oh!
That'd be our hotel.
That'd be a dream.
Please,
That'd be a
please.
dream. They just build us a town hall booth and we host a podcast the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I heard that when Blizzard flies you out, they actually fuel their jets with $100 bills. It's like some legit shit.
Esports tiers.
Corey, you just missed that.
What did I miss? What?
Oh
Huh?
no.
Oh,
I've cussed
hurt.
twice without Corey
wow.
saying.
All right. Sorry. I gotta step my game up. I gotta step my game up there.
Twice.
Wow.
Well, he admitted to it. Does that count? I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, I'll accept it. I like giving money to the viewers. Brightwing's E is really cool, but the thing is, I don't think people utilize the. I think it's 2 auto attacks do 50% less damage when you put the E on someone. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think people utilize that enough or like pay attention to it enough. I think most people just use it as the speed boost and don't use it as a like, okay, you can stay aggro on this person because I just threw my E on you and you're going to take 50% less damage from,
Right.
a Zerator or something.
As a Brightwing player, I use it for that, but it seems whenever I cast it on people, they don't use it.
Yeah, they just run.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, this is my cue to get out. It's like, no, this is your cue to get them. Like,
Same with that pulse one. Like, what's the activation pulse where it does it every 1 second instead of 5? It's hard to even notice that it's going down. Like, I think some of the animations, especially with the E, should be a little bit more indicative that it's happening. Because half the time you don't even know
yeah,
like-
it's true.
that it's happening. Especially with the D, with the activating D.
Yeah, I'm usually on Skype with people, so I usually say stack on me just
Exactly,
so they
yeah.
know. But like in a pub, you're right. Like I have
I was
to,
thinking-
if I'm trying to like heal multiple people, it's like really hard to follow 2 people at once because you can't.
I know. Yeah.
But
She's almost like a specialist support in a way.
Yeah.
she's definitely unique, and it's great.
really fun to play. Like it just as far as
I love
fun to
Planner.
play goes, it's just really
Yeah.
really fun.
I used
Blinking
to
around the whole entire map. It's
Oh,
awesome.
so good. It's so good.
Um,
But then we have our heroics, and this has been a debate between us.
Yeah.
But we talked about it a little bit, and
yeah, we already talked about it.
yeah, but plain and simple. I mean, obviously, like as you can see, Emerald Wind creates an expanding ring around her that pushes and damages enemies. The damage is not anything incredible, but like I said, I think the big use is displacing. It does enough damage to be worth it, but Blink Heal, it's invaluable. I mean, you can basically once you activate Blink Heal, you right click on an ally and you rapidly just teleport around them. Originally, I actually thought it was map wide. It's not. She has a huge ring around her of her
wait,
total range.
you only have to
Is it-
right click to apply it? I thought you had to R and then click them.
Yeah, you had to R and click them.
But you have to.
I don't think so. You just right click.
You activate it,
Like
and
you
then
activate it.
then you just right click on them.
Oh, I've been clicking R.
Wow,
and
I've been
You
doing
guys
that
are
too, Kev.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wasting that
Multitasking
APM,
over here.
Good to know.
Scrub
Good to know.
status. Scrub status. Yeah, once
not
it's
know
active,
that.
you just right click on your ally, and then she goes to them.
What's the
And you
radius?
think
Is it, like,
Emerald
full
Wind is
step?
good after that? Jeez, Jake, gosh. It's game changer.
Because you have to hit one more input, therefore it's worse.
Yep.
Wow.
Scrub players.
So what I really like about Blink Heal and something that I was kind of doing in the previous game I was just playing is that, I mean, if you're going against the Stitches or any kind of like displacement hero, like you just kind of bait it. They go in, you activate Blink Heal, and then you blink back to your team, and guess what? They just wasted their displacement.
It's true.
It's
Yes,
a little
no.
bit scary because you got to worry about that CC, but I like it because you can just go in, bait all of them, and then just blink right back,
Blink out.
or escape from anything.
Excluding like putting the E on yourself or getting sprint at level 13, she has no outs. She's a
Yeah.
very gankable
Yes.
hero, and Blink Heal gives you that mobility.
She has poly, and
Yeah.
she has her E.
But it
Well, yeah, but
doesn't
those
show
those aren't
until really
outs.
late.
those are just CC.
Wow.
Like in
How well
terms
does
of
that work
escapes,
against
she doesn't
Titans?
have anything.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like if Brightwing gets hooked, she's dead. Unless
Yep.
she has Blink Heal.
Dead.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad that they added. You know how there's I don't remember what level it is. If it's 14 or I can't remember what level, but the one that makes her polymorph slow,
16.
Yes.
16. I'm glad that that's first of all an option, and two that they don't give it to her that early. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
she should be kind of vulnerable, especially when she has that point when she does get her ult. But then there's that stage of the game where a lot of the game making plays do happen. And so
Whoa. Sorry,
Yep.
the in-game talents look so much cooler. I've never actually looked at them from that screen.
oh, when you do it, yeah.
I like the way they changed it.
Scrub.
Sorry, I know all the talents off the top of my head, Jake. I don't have to go to that screen. Sir.
Production
Wow.
value. Production value.
Production
Wow.
value.
Yep.
So yeah, no.
It's for you, Zoya, man. It's
A
for
little.
us.
I like that they have the options to. I mean, I agree that if they gave it to her too early, it would not be good. I think it's 16 talents are like, in my opinion, the best talents in the game. Obviously,
Oh, yeah.
20 is great, but 16 talents are amazing.
Yeah.
But,
Blood for blood.
Like Critterize is actually like a good ability too. Like
I've been going for
if you're trying to
Critterize
burn
more
them,
than anything
Critterize
else.
is good, but I definitely prefer Sticky Powder just because.
Sticky powder, yeah.
I especially in a more organized, like a more like high skill game, Critterize is probably the better choice. But I do like Sticky Powder a lot. The slow is
Yeah.
just invaluable, honestly.
It really is. Whether for that, it gives her like another element of escape too.
Yeah.
But you do kind of have. You can't just go crazy like that the whole game, and
Yeah. Like 50% slow, that's insane. Like
that's really insane. Yeah. Isn't there one before that too? I don't even have the thing up. I'm not bad, but there's like one that makes it so that the the Q. I think
Well-
it's like the Q.
well,
the
let's just-
sticky powder for the different.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Q slows too. I don't normally get that one, but
Yeah, me
there-
neither.
it allows you the flexibility. If you're not getting the slow on polymorph, you can get the slow on Q instead.
Whereas that's must be level 13. Yeah.
It's 13.
Targets are slowed by 30% for 3 seconds, but that's really nice because that hits multiple things.
AOE. Yep.
What do you? So let's just go to level 1 and just tell me what you guys each get, and we'll make this real quick.
I get the 50% damage, but sometimes, like on Dragon Shire, I like getting Bribe because you can get knights at less than 2.5 minutes if you're really good at teleporting around. But normally, I just get the 50% extra damage on the Q.
Bribe.
Prime.
Bribe on all maps except for Blackheart's Bay. And on Blackheart's Bay, I get Arcane Precision.
90% of the time, you should have another hero in your comp that can get Bribe. And in that situation,
Yeah.
I don't like getting Bribe, but you shouldn't never have 2 bribes. And
I agree with
Agreed.
that.
Yep.
Path of the Wizard, I would never get it because she can just Hearthstone home and teleport back.
I'd rather get the
into
E
battle.
upgrade.
Yeah, I would never
Yeah.
get Path of
Yeah.
Another hero's great. On
I
her,
agree, yeah.
no, never. All right, level
Here we
4.
go.
Shield ally.
Yeah.
Shield ally.
I tend to get that as
Ooh.
well.
Actually, I get anti-magic powder.
That one's good
I was
too.
when I first played her, I got that one. Because I wasn't sure. Because every time I get Shield Ally, I don't remember. Does Shield Ally take mana or no?
No.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure. Because I was like, I don't know how my mana regen is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Shield ally's
have
insane,
other
man.
ability.
Shield ally is ridiculous.
But yesterday when I was playing with her, I definitely made some ridiculous like saves and plays even on myself. Just like she can survive for so long when she has a Shield Ally for sure.
Getting poison on Brightwing just kills me though. Don't do it. I die.
I don't think
I
it's-
did it early on for fun, but no, I will never get it again.
Yeah, I don't even really like getting it that often on
Like
that
it
many
says.
heroes because there's like a certain point where it seems like it gets really useless.
Poison falls off
Doesn't
like
scale,
out
right?
of everything in the game. It falls off the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only
But
hero
there's a
I get
point
fault
that it's
it on
really
is
good.
Bloodsucker. Yeah, early game it's great for ganking. So if you're playing the roaming gank Kerrigan style,
Mhm.
that you can use poison in that situation and just help snowball your team. But the only hero I consistently get poison on is Witch Doctor because his other talents that tier suck.
Yeah.
And
What
you
about
also
anti-magic, though? Like,
kind of synergizes with his whole kit in general.
Yeah, that too.
You just go for that kind of extra protection. Like I'm thinking right now, what was it, Kev, that you said that you go anti-magic?
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering like, because I did get that when I first did it too. I was just been playing around with it. You know, like the reduction of one spell for 50%. That's gonna scale for the whole game, especially if someone's getting targeted down.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
That's why
Shield
I
Ally
get
does fall off a bit, but not as much as say poison. So I don't know. Like, do you notice it a lot when you do it, like in the late game, especially?
Oh yeah. I mean, if anybody's getting targeted down by any type of like nuke or something like that, shield
Mhm.
out anti-magic powder is so much better.
Sick, yeah.
I mean, it blocks 2 normal attacks and then a 3rd magic attack. It's just, I mean, there's no brainer there.
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty
really
sick.
good. Yeah.
I like that.
Level 7
And then
talents?
promote. What about promote?
No tempo.
No.
Bad.
Forgot that even existed.
I know.
We already
All
kind
right,
of talked
level
about this earlier.
7. Level 7, we had an argument about this. And that's because Zoe is dumb.
Jake was on my side too, you little bitch.
I think that
That one was
Whoa,
just,
that's
number 3.
multiple points.
Also-
That's money in the bank. Enjoy the
Money in the
skins.
bank. I'll
Enjoy the
give
skins.
$5 for that one.
So,
Cool.
so their argument was, oh, we're bad players. We don't know how to use it. So that's why they don't pick it. But Gust of Healing, or not Gust of Healing,
Regenerate range.
Lanes, whenever you use an ability, you get an extra Soothing Mist that goes out. Which, if you're spamming her abilities, which you should be, you're getting Soothing Mists going out all the time instead of just having some activatable every 5 seconds.
And just to clarify, Soothing Mist is the passive that
It's
heals.
the passive.
that heals
It's an
every 4
AoE
seconds.
around you healing spell.
Now, I think they're both really good, but my argument is that Gust of Healing is better.
Use any spell, and guess what? It's the same thing as the other one.
I don't know. There's so much much healing at once when you use Gust of Healing. So
The
like, if your
activatable
team
is
is
much more
low,
controlled.
yeah. It's just like if you need a ton of healing, you need to get your team up and back in. So you're playing on Cursed Hollow, and you're about to fight for a tribute, and your team's a little bit low, or you guys backed off and need to get back in. She can get everyone up to like 70% right away, and then you can just go back in. Whereas the other one might have more like sustain and like an actual combat thing. I think Brightwing doesn't necessarily want to be spamming her abilities. She wants to wait to strategically use her W. I mean, granted, you're going to be spamming Q, but you don't want to just poly the first tank in front of you. You want to poly like a key member of that party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her Q and her E are on like nothing cooldowns.
Yeah, you spam those, definitely.
You're on a nothing cooldown, bro.
If you're spamming them, you're targeting more and more of those Soothing Mists. So I don't understand where Gust of Healing is better than the other one.
I didn't say they're better. I said they have their different uses.
in a situation where it's like, oh shit, a lot of our team is almost dead.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, you
I
are
know.
really
I'm on
control.
fire today.
So
out of control.
You're never going to cast it in MLG ever. I'm going to tell you that.
I've already done that, sir.
I'll see to
so
it.
Rip.
wrong.
Day's over.
Also, how do you know I'm not intentionally doing it to help get our viewers more skins, Jake?
This
What
gentleman.
generous
I like
spell-
them. I like
Jealous,
them,
though.
unlike you, because you never say bad.
Wow.
Damn.
Call.
It's all love,
Okay.
man. It's all love,
Well,
brother.
So
love.
let's keep on topic here because
Moving on.
Yeah.
I think they're both good. I would never get called on Mule. I would never get Cleanse. Well, Cleanse, it's not as good. It's just
No. The other two are horrible.
Just-
And so
Call
is
down
Gust of
Mule
Healing.
is not
All you need
horrible.
is-
There are situations where it works, but
but
not
not
on-
on, not on Brightwing, not compared to these other passives. I mean,
Yeah.
we already talked about 13, 16. Did we talk about 20?
well, 10, yeah, we talked about 10. We talked about 13. Did we talk? Yeah, well, we really talked about that one ability in 13. I mean,
I
it's
think we
pretty,
talked more about 16.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but I think I personally get Sticky Flare a lot, but at the same
It's a
time,
face-
yeah, Face Shield is really good.
I get facial.
Yeah, Face Shield is really good. I get it quite a bit. Sprint, I'm not opposed to getting it, but I really haven't found myself in too many situations where I'm that far out of position that I need to sprint. I actually get away with Brightwing quite often with just using my shield, using my E, and just polying whoever, like the carry or the assassin that's on me. I can typically get away. So I really don't think she's that immobile. I mean, it sucks when she has to like move from point A to point B if her blink isn't up, but I don't know. And Ice Block,
I think it could have its use too, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like even like Kevin was saying, there are these situations if you do get blink heal where you have that mobility. But say maybe if you do get Emerald Wind, Ice Block wouldn't be that bad of a like
In
if
that
you want to go
build-
that.
Are you still doing Emerald Wind if you're at Ice Blocked?
Oh, I don't know.
You can't.
There are situations where Ice Block is good. A lot of the pre-mades are starting to realize how much impact Brightwing has on the team, and they focus fire her in most fights. It's an easy kill. It takes out a lot of sustain for the team.
Yeah.
And Brightwing, when she uses Blink Kill, she can't heal herself.
Yep.
I know, I hate
She's
it.
very, very easy to kill. Ice Block is good in those situations.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
just playstyle, yeah, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
You get like 3 really good ones. I don't know, like you saying about sprint. If anything, I'd use it just to, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see myself ever getting it. And 16 we talked about, and 20, pretty straightforward. I get Storm Shield myself, but I think Bolt of the Storm would be fine. And I don't.
I get Ysara's Blessing.
I really don't know if that's necessary.
Ysara's Blessing.
Yeah, really? You think it's needed?
Yeah.
It's like a
No
guarantee.
No one
like,
will
no one
ever die.
Die. It's
Well, just the initial one, you know.
yeah.
It's not all of them. It's just the initial.
But nobody
By
will ever
200.
I
die.
mean, it's still good. I mean, like when you need to initiate it, you're gonna wait for that person to be really
Yeah.
low. But
I'll have to play with it more. I'm glad to hear
I would
you
say
guys.
so too, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had too many like I haven't been able to test them all out and see it, but Storm Shield, yeah, is really nice.
Storm
I don't know,
Shield is nice.
continuous
I get it
wins,
off
of course,
your-
you'd have to play more about with Emerald Wind. I haven't really done so.
I just
That's
find
good
when I
thing
Storm
too.
Shield and then I blink kill on everyone, it's like they're all very happy as it is. So, and Storm Shield's more immediate. So
Yeah.
I'm just very happy with Storm Shield as it is. So
Yeah, that's
I don't know
not
if it
bad at
makes it
all.
up. Yeah.
I get it off your-
Percentage-based
It's
healing,
good.
especially, is better for tanks than a set amount, of course. So if you have like 2 tanks like Stitches or like an ETC and they are low,
Right. It's true.
that's actually much more effective than like your healing 200% more.
Looks like we covered as much as Brightwing as we can. Let's go to a quick commercial break, guys, though. When we get back, we're going to talk about Wheelie, the movement speed change, Kubi's questions, why Kevin is scared all the time. That's the show. So we'll see you guys after this quick commercial break. Stay tuned. Jake, who was that? I'm sorry. Welcome back, guys, to Town Hall, episode 10. Oh my god, he unmuted his mic on his own.
Yeah, what,
Wow.
did Cortana talk to me?
Wow.
Was it Cortana? Is that what you heard?
Yeah.
Cortana. Cortana's my my new phone. AI.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. We were going to talk about Lily today, but we just realized that not a lot. Like, okay, I played one game with her, and that's basically the same amongst the cast. So we're going to spend this week learning a bit about Lily. Well, not a bit. We're going to play a lot of her, and next week we're going to go really in depth because I feel like that Brightwing's discussion was actually really solid. We covered a lot, and I want to do the same with Lily. So next week we'll focus more on her. This is more of like a public service announcement. There's not much to say about this. Tassadar is really bugged right now. I don't think there was a patch fix. I did notice a few things buggy about him today with Tassadar. His trait, I forget what it's actually maybe called Envision. It no longer reveals stealths. His force wall is bugged half the time. Heroes can walk through it, and that's a real problem. And his phase shield, if you have a poison on him or any other damage over time, it doesn't negate the damage, which drops Tassadar down a lot when you put the shield nerf on him as well.
Yeah, those are a lot of stealth nerfs. If they're intended.
I think those are bugs.
Or bugs.
Really weird thing that's been happening too is when Tassadar used to use his phase shift, he would go cloaked and you could see where he's going.
Yeah.
Now he's just completely invisible and I have no idea where he went.
All right,
Yeah,
I knew I wasn't crazy.
No,
Man.
you're not crazy. You're not crazy.
I'm like, come on, man.
So he doesn't shimmer, he just disappears.
Right, he's just
he
like
just straight up disappears.
You have to guess. Like that might be an intended change.
I hope not, because that's kind of ridiculous.
Why are they leaving us in the dark on this stuff? Like
The
we
force
know
wall
about this.
thing.
It's alpha.
What's intended?
They don't have to tell us everything. It's alpha.
The force wall thing is definitely a bug. Heroes shouldn't be
Yes.
walking through it half the time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen first.
I really hope the Envision thing not showing stealth is a bug as well.
I agree.
Because that's just so good.
Yeah.
It's
He's already hard to kill. Like, why buff it? Somebody just deleted a whole line of code and is just like ruined everything. It's the only explanation.
Failed.
It's possible.
Kevin,
Kevin, do you work there?
What?
I'm
Oh,
claiming
hey,
that.
hold on.
Damn.
Hold on now.
The stealth disses, man, with the stealth nerfs, man. What's up with this? Stealth week. We should have just done.
to talk about
Coming in
Zeratul.
with all these
Zeratul,
Kevin's not
we
good
can.
at his job jokes.
Hey, Kevin, I think you're great at your job.
I think
I don't know
you're
what it is that you do, or like.
He is a professional pun master.
He's good with those. He's pretty good.
I think you're great at it, though.
Late night hosts come to me and they're like, Kevin, we need a pun. And I just give them, my best one-liners.
Gets to working on that.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
Today,
so everyone knows, there are some weird things going on with Tassadar.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about the movement speed change. A lot of unintentional nerfs. Some of them makes the game a little bit more skill-based. Some of them have changed heroes quite a bit playstyle-wise. The big one for me is Witch Doctor. Before, you could use Ravenous Spirit to actually do some serious damage in a fight. Yeah, you could chase heroes, you could do a good amount of damage. But now, with the movement speed increase, there was no speed increase with Ravenous Spirit. So within 2 seconds, you can actually get away from Ravenous Spirit. So instead of him being a good damage contributor to a fight, he's now more of a, I'm going to pick this hero and chase them and zone them out of the fight as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And that completely changes his playstyle, which I don't know if that's intentional or not, but Witch Doctor is a very different hero to play now. Ravenous Spirit, like, unless you have a lockdown on your team, it's a much different ult to play with.
It's kind of funny because I've been seeing a few Witch Doctors showing up, and they've been choosing Gargantuan nowadays. And like my knee-jerk reaction is, "Hey, Gargantuan is actually no. Now the other one's pretty bad now too. So you know what? Might as well go with something that can push."
Yeah.
And yeah, I completely agree. It's really not that great anymore, and I really hope that they give that a little bit of a speed buff.
Yeah, but
That's a lot of things, right? Like, isn't that what this whole thing is? Like, little indirect nerfs as a result of the speed buff.
Yeah.
What else is an alpha? Like, I mean,
Gazlo was changed. I mean, I kind of like it how it affected Gazlo because his ult combo was pretty devastating. When we've seen so many YouTube videos where it's just like, wow.
It's still very good.
Not as at level 20, yes.
Yeah.
Pre 20 though, it's much harder to hit without lockdown again. So that makes the game more skill based in a sense, which is cool. But I don't think people were realizing this movement speed buff was going to affect the game at all. I wonder if Blizzard realized that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming from a Stitches player, it definitely makes hooks a bit harder to land, but they were already really easy to land
Yeah.
as is. So I'm okay with it. Like it's a little bit harder to land now. You just have to predict where they're going to be a bit more. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean-
I think even
I mean,
with Witch Doctors, I'm not bad. Like the what's it called, the zombie thing?
Zombie wall.
I barely get trapped in that anymore. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's much harder.
Yeah.
Witch Doctor
they
fell
need
off so
to-
much from it.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs a faster uproot time is what
Just
we've been
something
playing
like
around
that.
with. Is there any other heroes that you guys felt like overall the speed buff is great for the game? I have no serious complaints. But are there any other heroes that you guys have noticed besides Gazelle and Witch Doctor where it's kind of like, wow, he's completely different because of the speed change?
Would affect Arthas a little bit. I don't know. You can talk to that a bit. Agreed.
How's
yes. No.
How's it
With
affect Arthas?
with the ice lockdown. Yes,
I don't
because that's
think so.
channeled. Yeah. No, not too much. Okay.
Oh,
thinking of
Cindergosa
random
is the
spells.
only one. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Cindergosa
that's
would be
true.
that changes. I think on a higher level. That doesn't make them unplayable. I know. I feel like Witch Doctor was my favorite hero. If you guys look at the MLG channel we're on right now, Witch Doctor is like almost just screaming at you in the background because he's that awesome.
I was there when you bought it.
You were there that game that we got wrecked by Witch Doctor. I was like, I'm buying him.
I'm buying it.
Right?
And it's been a match made in heaven ever since.
Yeah, man,
I feel like
I don't know in heaven,
you know,
but it was made somewhere. It wasn't match made. I don't know.
for sure.
just a lot of the melees I think now have a little bit stronger ability to get in and do more damage in team fights. I mean, granted, you could make the argument that everybody's speed was increased, so it shouldn't make much of a difference. But typically, we see that ranged and other people like they don't really move around that much yet in team fights. And now melees have the ability to just kind of reposition and get into the best positions a lot easier. I certainly use that speed buff on Diablo a lot, and just like I'm able to kind of keep people locked down a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like you said, a buff to melee in a little bit. I mean, not in theory it shouldn't be because you can still get away, but like you said, a lot of people are stationary when they fight, and at the same time, it's easier to dodge skill shots, which is a good change.
Yeah.
Because being able to dodge skill shots is skill at the same time. So.
Overall, though, the movement speed change, we all love it, right? Like,
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It made the game
Yeah.
so much more fun to play. It's just
I agree.
it was noticeable right away. It took like a game or two for me to adjust, but after that, man, I could not go back.
Yeah.
Animation canceling is much smoother. Yeah. Overall, very good.
It just feels more fluid.
It just
in general.
feels weird. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
like the first, I literally was like, all right. It was something in my head that I never really thought, and I was just like, it does seem kind of a slow, like the game does seem a bit slow, like when we first played. In the first alpha, and I was like, maybe if they did like increase the movement speed a little bit, it'll be kind of cool, like an idea, like maybe. And then they just did it, and I don't know if it was like a thing in everybody's mind that was like, dude, the movement speed needs to be buffed, like next alpha patch.
Yeah.
But it was more the thing, like maybe they've been playing a lot, of course, because we do know, maybe firsthand, that a lot of Blizzard devs do play.
They play a lot. They play.
Yeah,
a lot.
they do.
So they probably kind of feel the same thing, and
I mean, yeah, it's great. It's great that they play a lot, and it's great that they're not. I mean, they had a lot of feedback. A lot of people did say the game was slow,
okay.
and
Yeah, there was a lot of community feedback that way. That it just looked slow.
Yeah.
You already touched on it a bit, Kev, but Diablo Slam was so hard to hit. Like it was just so buggy before. How much of an impact has the movement speed change had on Diablo from his skills kind of point of view?
Hasn't changed much. The only thing is Apocalypse is just a little bit harder to hit, but I mean, when you're a pro Diablo player, hitting that Apocalypse ain't bang. But no, I like the slams and the shadow charges. Shadow charge, of course, hasn't really changed much. Slam still really buggy.
Yeah.
The problem with slam though isn't really move speed or anything. It's just that Diablo's animation has like a startup time.
Yep.
And so somebody will be just in your circle. You'll hit E and click on them, and they'll still be standing in your circle. But if they walk out while you're just about to hit them with slam, while like the startup animation hits, you're just gonna bug out and just stand there. And a lot of really weird stuff goes on with bushes as well. So it's really kind of buggy still. I think they just need to get rid of that startup animation, whatever the heck it is.
So one of the big changes they made to Diablo was the souls. How do you feel about that?
It's amazing!
It is so much better. I freaking love it so much.
It is
That's
so much
good.
better. It just really just kind of balanced out everything. So now, like in the beginning of the game, if I'm like up to like 40, 80 souls, I don't have to worry about like if I die, I'm gonna be out everything. Uh, and especially when you're up to like 200 souls, now you die and you come back, and you don't have to have that other stupid talent where it's like death costs less. If you die when you're Diablo, and you have 200 souls, then you have 5 second death timer. You come back with 100 souls still, so you have that regen, you have that health of 100 souls, and then if you even die immediately after that again because you're playing with Zoya or something and your team
Shut
cheats,
up.
you can come back right again in 5 seconds. So it's really nice. It kind of changes. It kind of changes
I,
a lot of his dynamic.
I forget who I was talking to this about, but I think it would be. What are your thoughts? Because you're like hands down the most played Diablo player in the alpha right now. What if
Yeah,
they
pretty
made
big deal.
this? Yeah, pretty big deal. What if they made the souls respawn like you choose when you use it rather than just on that death? Do you think that would be better for the game if you could activate when you wanted to use it, or do you think it should just be if you die, you have to use it no matter what?
If you die, you have to use it no matter what. I think giving that much of a choice, it's like really kind of weird, and I could see that leading to really awkward situations where it's like, well, a couple seconds into death, you have the choice to do it, and then afterwards or whatever. But like, I mean,
Yeah.
then your team could just be like, dude, why didn't you instantly res? And you're like, well, I think, maybe it's going to be better later on or something like that,
Good point.
or save your souls. To me, it just seems like
I think it's good too. Like,
it's a punishment for death.
yeah.
It has to be there. It has to, like, that has to be a punishment for death.
And for the other team, like, if they decide to, kill you, it's not like, oh my god, is he gonna come back at this time, or is it like they can calculate that and say, all right,
And
he's actually gonna.
it isn't League or Dota. The games are a lot shorter. It's a lot more action packed. I can't imagine a situation where I'm like, all right, I wanna wait out my 50-second cooldown to use my skulls or souls.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine, and keeping the game as streamlined as possible seems to be like their core business model with the game. Everything is just easy to understand.
All right, well, it's time to move on to our brand new segment, Kubi's Questions!
Oh, that's
Oh,
Wait.
hell yeah, Tempo.
all right.
Kubi,
Kubi's question.
you
Kubi's question.
explain what's going on, man.
Okay, Kubi's questions is going to be the hard-hitting questions segment of the show. I'm going to ask the other hosts some ridiculously, well, I won't say ridiculous, but some real thought-provoking questions. And I just want to see how you guys think on your feet, because you guys have no idea what I'm about to ask you. So, all right, let's basically we're going to be talking about tanks this week, and I think it's a topic that we really need to discuss. But I'm going to give you guys a scenario, and then I'm going to ask you how you feel the tank should respond in this scenario. So, all right, here's the scenario. Okay, Cursed Hollow.
Ooh.
Hey, you like this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Cursed Hollow. Both teams, they've both taken 2 tributes, okay? Each team is past level 10. I think this is probably something that is definitely happened between 2 good teams. Okay, so the 5th tribute has spawned, and each team is converging in from either side of the tribute, okay? The team that you're against has a comp of 3 assassins and 2 supports. Your team has a comp of 2 supports, 2 assassins, and 1 tank. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, what should the tank be doing in this team fight to ensure a win? I'm going to throw it to Jared. Jared, go ahead.
In that situation, they're obviously running a super burst heavy comp. They just want to take something down. Depending on which tank you are, you should hold back.
Let me preface this by saying you can make assumptions based on any of the move pools that the current tanks have. Not like mixing and matching stuff, but like, okay, you just say like, in this situation, maybe ETC, but all right, go ahead.
Not including Stitches, because he's a completely different playstyle for tanks. Your job should just be peeling off your own assassins. Don't try and initiate too heavily, because you're just going to get melted down against 3 different range assassins, or whatever type of assassins they are. Your main job is to just peel for your team in that situation, because they're not going to have as much sustain as you will, because you have a lot more life, you have a lot more abilities on your tank.
Okay, follow-up question. I'm going to throw this one to Kevin. Do you feel the current set of tanks that we have in the game can accomplish this task well?
Yes, peeling, definitely. I mean, so playing the #1 tank in the entire game, Diablo, your peeling ability is like bar none. You can just destroy everybody's like ability to get at your team. Um, and that's pretty much what I would say is if they have 3 assassins, 2 supports, one of them's got to be a melee, and as soon as that melee goes in, just either peel them off or peel them into your team, like separating your team and them, or their team and them, and kill them, and then immediately go to the rest of their team.
Yep. Somebody's mic is like full wind tunnel right now.
Is it mine? I'm gonna mute it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was me. Is it doing it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. The tunnel like slowly calmed, and then then it came back.
Okay, all right. Moving on from that. Let's see. So what do we just... All right, so we're talking about peeling. All right. So Jake, next follow-up question will be, I will argue that a lot of the supports in the game have enough ability to do what Kevin just said, to peel in that situation. I think a lot of the supports have ways to block out, and there's a lot of CCs in the game that are available to the other casts. So, do you feel as though a tank is even necessary in a comp based on that?
Right now, no. Honestly, like so many supports have so much utility. Like Brightwing can poly, Tyrande can stun. Like they can, having 3 assassins, you can just burst them down fast enough. I think that the triple assassin is just more valuable than most of the tanks. Excuse me. A good Diablo can displace well, for sure. A good ETC can displace well. I feel like Stitches is a bit lacking in the lineup because Stitches has to be out of position to displace properly. But I think the double support triple assassin comp is definitely stronger.
Please bring up the most important tank in game, please.
Artho
Artho.
Artho is
Artho.
I mean, I know you love Artho, and he has
great.
some cool skins, and he seems like he's a lot better. But Artho has more lockdown than displace. Like, granted, he can peel off for your assassins, and Artho he hits a lot harder than the others, especially when you use Blight, or is that what it's called? The E. I don't know what it's called. It just makes me sparkly and swirly winds and bugs fly around and stuff. But Artho is very good, but I think right now, like, I haven't been that impressed with the tank. Like, I haven't played with Kevin's Diablo enough, maybe, I don't know. I have definitely seen some really, really, really solid play with ETC, so I don't think it's bad. But I just think that the assassins are, like, because carries have so much utility. Like, supports have so much utility in this game. Like, supports are amazing. Honestly.
Why would you need a tank when you can have a Brightwing that can jump in and Emerald win to displace? Like, that's all you need.
All right,
I agree with
that
this
was my
line.
next question.
Because
Stop it, Tempo.
No, I love this guy.
No, I want to hear. Keep going. Elaborate, please.
when you
I think
have
it's a
all
good
this
point.
displacement, it all lasts like a couple of seconds. And even if you run like an Uther, you have 2 seconds of a stun, and then his ult, which will be like a 3-second stun. If you get if it's competent teams against each other, you might get 3 people, right? Like, people are going to stay displaced or dispersed to avoid that Uther ult. I think the thing about something like a Diablo, an Arthas, an ETC is that they're not going to last a couple of seconds. They're going to be in there for like 10,
Pretty long
20
time.
seconds.
Especially
And not only
Arthas
are
now.
they
I feel like
doing
he's got really
displacement, but they're doing damage. They're moving things
Absorbing
around.
skill shots, which is
They're
huge.
absorbing skill shots. They're in the way. They're blocking people. I mean, if I'm a Diablo and I'm in a close corridor, if I slam somebody behind me and then shove them into a wall and block them in there, I've just completely gotten rid of somebody else while I'm still doing Flame Stomp. Or if I'm ETC, then I just run in as soon as a melee character of theirs comes in, and I cue them into the rest of my team. Like, these are things that supports can't do. And while the Uther can get those heals off, your heal is nowhere near how much health a tank has. A tank has like 6k health at like level 20.
Yeah.
That's way more than like saying just another Uther would be great.
Yeah, no, those are really good points. I mean, I can't argue with that. But at the same time, like, so many tanks are just not that they should be strong. Even displacing one person from the team, even if they're soaking up damage, like it's the game speed might have made it easier to even just pick off other people because you can just run by the tank and just go for Brightwing, go for Tassadar, go for Tyrael. So if you have 3 assassins, they can just snipe them. And then if the tank, what's the tank doing? Like, I mean, displacing one guy while 2 other assassins are just obliterating someone.
All right. So you stop playing with Corey's stitches, and you start playing with my Diablo.
Wow.
Damn.
So,
Damn.
And I'll show you the use of a good tank.
wow.
First of all, I want to interject real quick. Breaking news: BlizzCon just announced that they will be showcasing 4 esports tournaments, and Heroes of the Storm is announced for one of them.
Yeah.
Yep. Kim Fan did confirm that there will be a Heroes tournament, and
Excellent.
I will be in the front row.
Not gonna lie, God, gonna be
I'll
up
be-
there for the finals.
Boom.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah. So, but
Especially
yeah,
how it's gonna be by
That's
then.
no.
too.
I mean, just like last year was my first BlizzCon. Just to go off on a tangent. Well, yes, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, and
Okay.
I not only got to attend the event, but I got to work on the BlizzCon staff. I got to help like produce the Hearthstone broadcast, and it is hands down the best event and the best experience I've ever had. Not even just esports, just like period. I really don't think I've had a better time in my life. So, I will actually probably hurt something if I don't get tickets this year. So,
really, I've heard that
Tag team,
BlizzCons
man.
get boring after like the first day.
really,
What?
No,
No.
no. WCS
No.
finals were so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
let me
were.
rephrase. If you're not a
Like-
StarCraft fan, BlizzCon's very boring.
So here's
No,
the
so here's
thing.
the thing.
I'm a huge Blizzard nerd. I'm a big Warcraft guy. I'm a big Diablo guy. I'm a big StarCraft guy. I like it all. Corey is only like a StarCraft guy, and this was before he was like really into Heroes. He had a blast. Like, you know, he didn't really care
it was
about
a lot of fun.
about WoW stuff, but like between the Heroes panels and like Hearthstone tournaments, like he was literally more. He was jumping between the Hearthstone tournament and the Heroes panel literally while it was live. He was like running back between
Yeah.
stages more
There was
than
a lot
I
of stuff
was.
going on.
So like it just
No, it was sick.
it's
the whole time.
No, it does
It's
not
definitely-
I've never been to a BlizzCon. I heard someone say that once.
fix that.
They didn't do it right, man.
Stream
Yeah.
Blizzard-
Didn't do it
In
right.
2 days, okay, here's the thing. 2 days is exactly how much you need. At the end of the second day, you're like, I don't want to be at BlizzCon any longer. I'm gonna go and buy a whole bunch of alcohol, and that's what
Oh, so you didn't
you get
during the event?
You get there Thursday.
Yeah.
And then you party Thursday, and then BlizzCon is Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday you're dead. So you're ready
Yep.
to go home.
Yep, everybody was dead on Sunday. Can confirm.
Mhm.
Tried to go to Disneyland. Nobody wanted to go with me.
No.
So back in
But
the
I did
Cooper
hang out with
questions.
Total Biscuit on Sunday, and that was awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
That's great.
Definitely the people, at least. I mean, it's just the people at BlizzCon.
Well, that's always the best part about events is just seeing all the people you hang out with.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you know, like at MLGs and stuff like that, and IPL, I can remember as well as like most of like the people that you want to talk to, especially like when you're, you know,
A caster.
they're all really tired because they've either been playing all day or they've been casting all day. And I think BlizzCon did like a really good job where it was only like 6 hours or something like that these people were really doing stuff. So at the end of the day, they were still ready to go and ready to go do stuff. And I think that was what was really different.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. But Kubi, resume your questions.
No, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to call it there. I have some
Yeah,
other
that was
stuff,
good.
but I'm going to save it for next week.
No,
got
that's
some
good. I
extra
actually
stuff.
like that. It's very
Yeah.
thought
So, but
provoking.
I enjoyed the responses and the banter, so I think we'll continue doing this. That was fun.
We were going to talk about
I think he got upset because I called out his stitches and he just didn't play
Yeah, I
anymore.
just shut down. I mean, I'm just like, you know, F these guys. Just
Messed up, man. That's cold. That's cold.
I actually wanted to talk about Arthas this week, but if you guys are cool with it, I'd rather save it for next week.
Yeah.
So because I'll have my guide written then. I
Oh
can
yeah,
go a
so
little bit more in
too
depth.
bad for us next
We can
week.
do
We can
another.
this.
Someone asked about Barbarian too. Isn't
Oh,
there
yeah.
something new
The
with
chat
that?
did ask about Barb, and we haven't played a lot of Barbs.
I'm actually I'll play a lot of Barb this week, and I will report back on that. I'm interested in doing that. So.
Nice.
Kev, did you want to stop being scared?
Okay.
Here we
so
go.
here's
Deep breath.
we
Deep
go.
breath.
Whew.
takes a lot for me to say, guys. So I'd really be glad if you could
We'll
come with
support
me.
you through this. We got your back, man.
We'll do
I
that.
think Regen Master is actually legitimate talent.
Oh, okay.
He almost got it out in one go.
Wait, that's the one that regen glow. You get like
Yeah.
max.
So here's the thing, and I don't know if it's broken or not because how the tooltip reads is for every 3 regen globes you gather, you get +1 health per second.
Per second. Yep.
But the thing is that I was like sitting there and just watching my health regen go up every time I got a new stock in Regen Master, and it's 3 health per second. So I think it's every regen globe counts for 3, and then when you get all 3, it actually all 3 of those go into your HP a second. Now so mainly who I've been using this on is Diablo because his Soul Feast trait is if you don't have any souls, you don't have any regen. However, the Regen Master, as long as you're in lane enough,
Which Diablo
you can
will be.
actually get, huh?
Which Diablo will be
Yeah.
because he needs.
Well, yeah, but if you're like maps like Blackheart's Bay, I've realized it's way better to have Soul Feast than it is to have Regen Master
I can
because
see that
they're
for
hardly
sure.
ever in lane.
Yeah.
Right.
But in a map like Dragonshire, where I got to like 10 stacks of Regen Master by like I think 12 minutes, and I was and if you get that with amplified healing, you're at 53 regen. I think 50 or 60 or 50 or 45 regen HP per second.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And,
It's
and,
actually
and if you die, you
Corey.
don't lose it. It
you don't lose
stays.
it.
No,
Yeah.
that's-
So on Diablo, it's really nice because you don't have to rely on souls anymore. But I also have been using it on Tychus because Tychus is like very front in the mix kind of guy. I've been avoiding getting Path of the Warrior on him and getting that plus Vampiric Embrace. On all my other tanks, I've been getting regen on like maps like Dragonshire is really good, and Haunted Mines is another really good one because you're in lane a lot. So I find it to be a legitimate option. I think everybody kind of threw it off at the beginning, but if you get a couple stacks of that, if you're up to like 7, I mean, there you go. That's 21 HP a second added. And getting 21 globes is really not that hard.
So I'll give you Regen Master. It's called Brightwing.
Well, all right. To be fair, Kev, if it is not healing as much as the tooltip says, you can't blame us for not trying it because you read that and you're like,
No.
that's pretty much
Yeah. So
straight
here's the
jump.
thing. But I'm not going by the tooltip. I'm going by hitting the
Right.
champion screen or whatever the hell it is on N, and it shows you how much HP a second
Yeah.
you're getting.
Screen cap
what's-
that and post that on Reddit for us.
nice.
The,
That's
the what
actually
screen?
really
What
nice.
was the screen called?
Huh?
The talent screen
Well,
in game.
No, he
No,
called it.
champion screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
In the tip jar. In the tip jar.
Yep.
Good catch. Good catch.
Anyway,
I'm definitely going to try it out a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad you brought it up.
We made fun of Kevin a lot when he first started doing it, but now it makes a little bit more sense.
I mentioned it. Everyone's just like, "Yeah, you're dumb." Like,
Oh.
yeah, well, Malfurion.
The
So
funny
yeah.
thing is how it works.
You're dumb. It's like, oh.
The funny thing that what sparked the conversation was Wax Steven was like, I'm gonna get Regen Master on Tychus, and then that's kind of what started it.
And every single time that Whack would grab a regen glove, he was like, "Glove, glove, glove, regen glove, and he'd just like jump in. He would
We're like-
die just to get regen globes, and we thought it was hilarious. And I was like, you know
We're
what? Try
Back
that.
come top lane, the sorcerer is about to die. Get this Regen glove. On my way, man.
So I got it on Tychus initially, and I was up to like, I think I was hitting like 5 or 6 stacks of it, and I looked down at my HP per second, and I'm like, wow, that is a lot of HP a second. Like, I would walk out of battle at half health, and just like a couple seconds later, be back up to like 3/4.
Especially with a Vamp Assault and his
crazy.
attack speed,
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
you regen so fast.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. So I was like, how would this work on a tank? And then once I got it on Diablo, I've been sold ever since.
I will try it out this week.
talent in your
Yeah,
life.
okay, all right. You know what? I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
I'll try it out this week, Kev. I
But
promise.
just remember, it
I'll
has
try
to
it out
be
tonight.
has to be a map where you lane a lot, because if you're
Yeah,
not
of
laning
course.
a lot and you're not getting a lot of those regen globes, it sucks. But also think about it, regen globes also happen whenever you get jungle camps. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just in general, Blackheart's Bay is like the one map that's like the odd man out. Like it plays very differently. Like I get a very different loadout on almost every hero for that map.
I'd also say Cursed Hollow. I would not want to try it on that. You spend so much time team fighting and roaming for tributes that I don't know.
You do
not
get a
as
regen
bad.
glove when you take the tribute. You
Yeah.
get a regen glove for that.
That is a good point,
It's
but you have to
a,
win the tribute for that, though. So.
Yo, stop losing the tribute.
Yo.
Well, good show, guys.
Yeah.
A little bit later than expected. We had a lot to talk about too that we kind of like either breezed over or just didn't talk about. So next week we will have Lily discussion, Arthas discussion, potentially a Barbarian discussion,
Yeah, I'd like
and
that.
whatever great stuff comes out that week as well. A good show, guys. Episode 10. Hit that new milestone. Special shout out to Mr. Tempo here
Yes.
for coming on and guessing.
That was
A lot of
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Our first guest and our first milestone. You're a part of the biggest thing ever.
I can't
That's
believe. I was
happening.
gonna say like, wow, and I even blew like a happy birthday horn. That's awesome. I'm glad I was able to have this on my desk.
I'm just happy
Right
to
in case-
know. I'm just happy to know you have a happy birthday horn just ready to go. Like whenever you need to celebrate something, just why not?
This man is prepared.
The milestone horn. Yeah, that was awesome.
Every time you level up on Diablo or WoW, you're just like,
It's like, yeah.
Well,
Every time I
let's
pick
get-
up a health globe with that.
Kevin,
next time I
learn
watch you
from this
stream,
man.
you better be doing that.
You know it. You already know.
Let's get some shout-outs going. Jake, take it away, man.
Same stuff as always. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on MLG. It's just mlg.tv/SolidJake. It's SolidJakeGG as it says here on the overlay. And YouTube is SolidJakeGG. I've been uploading way more Heroes videos than normal. Just a lot of just gameplay right now. Stuff that I've been streaming, and I'm getting back into making guides. So Brightwing is my guide this week, and I'm probably going to do Lily next week. I haven't decided either Lily or Tyrande. But actually, Temp0 asked about Barbarian, so I might do a deep dive on Barbarian this week. So, but yeah, that's it.
Well, Corey, man, all you, babe.
Follow me at Omega Black Mage. I'll be playing tons of heroes this week. I'll be on various streams. I'm not streaming myself, of course, but probably on Jake's Mats. Maybe if Jared is so kind as to invite me to his party. Who knows?
We finally got to play together the other night. We did it.
We did good too.
Yeah, we did. It was good games.
That's it for me.
Kev.
I'm gonna give my shout out to Regen Globes. You guys have been treating me true this week. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Sham2 as well as on YouTube. I have not been recording because my XSplit thing has run out, so I need to buy that again. But I've been spending all my money on booze.
Skins. Okay.
Skins was the right word. Skins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Skins.
You bought Mercablo 10 times.
Skins that I drink at bars.
Yep.
No, just kidding. No, but yeah, I need to redo my XSplit thing, so that I'm gonna start.
I need to
coming out with
regen
more
my health
YouTube.
globes.
Regen my health globes on XSplit, so I can start popping out more YouTube vids. But yeah, you can find me. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow or the day after that.
Okay. Mr. Tempo, take it
Hey,
away, man.
Gotta give a shout out to y'all for having me on the show. That was pretty awesome. I was a little bit nervous at first. Oh, I never get nervous, but I was a little bit nervous at first about like possibly like, oh my god, have I been playing enough? Like, do I know? But to be perfectly honest, like I guess I have actually been playing a little more than I thought. And the discussion that we do is good because people that haven't played the game either, kind of still touch up on anything. So before we go into a discussion, we kind of go through that whole thing to get people on the same page, and I felt like I was, I didn't feel like the odd man out in any of the discussions.
You contributed a while, man. It was great.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot. So also a big shout out, of course, to IVD. Yeah, it's my team, and I stream as well. Twitch.tv/tempo_sc, and that's spelled with a 0. And I usually, when I play heroes, it's around like this time, maybe a little bit later. I do it more late in the night than I do during the day. But if that interests you, definitely check that out. And in the near future, hopefully more near than farther, I'm going to be doing some songs. It's going to be hero songs. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yes.
So
This is.
Yo, bro, no joke. Your most recent song, I was cracking up the entire time.
They're all amazing, man.
yeah,
Did you see his most recent one, the Because I Got High
Because I
version?
Got
I did.
Oh my
Had to,
god.
So
I had
Dude,
That was
I
so funny.
Still, anytime I hear the song, I still sing "Drunk So Hard" over the actual lyrics,
Right?
like
You know, it's
every
impossible for me to
single
go,
time.
like out, because of I just sing my own song instead. Not until I sound like Bane or anything, but it's like ingrained in my head. So, but yeah, definitely thanks. Great show. Everyone, thanks y'all for viewing as well. The shout out to the people that are out there still. And last but not least, I got to give a shout out to Mama Tempo, because without Mama Tempo, there would be no Tempo. So
Too
Bang.
good.
thanks, Nat.
All right, well, thanks again to all my co-hosts. Thanks for Tempo for coming on. If you guys want to follow me, you can follow me at IBDZoya on Twitter. You can also follow the stream here. I try streaming Heroes of the Storm every single day. A lot of fun. If you also want to check out IBD Gaming, go to IBDgaming.com. You can see both our squads, our Hearthstone and our StarCraft squad, where we have great players across the board. Shout out to the community, people like CSD, people like Jester, and all these guys who make these posts, who put on these events. You guys are what push the community to that next level and make this game much bigger. So shout out to everyone who contributes to stuff like that, all the viewers and stuff. This has been Town Hall episode 10, double digits, guys. We made it. We got plenty more shows coming. Tempo, I'm sure you'll be back, because today was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But take it easy, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Peace.
Peace.